This is one of the first things I've ever cooked. Vinen Kebap. Kebap generally meaning a braised meat dish, and Vinen meaning it's cooked in a wine sauce. And that's why I like to call it the Bulgarian Beef Bourguignon. However, the meat is not necessarily beef, and in fact, it's most often cooked with pork. But for the purposes of this video, I'm gonna cook it with beef. And one other characteristic of the Vinen Kebap is that it's always served with white rice. Now, I'm obviously not gonna cook this packet, but I'm gonna use it as reference. To prep the meat, I'm simply gonna cut it into large chunks. This is sort of what I'm going for. Now all of the meat goes into a bowl. I'm gonna season it with salt and I'm gonna cover it with flour. It will not only make the meat pick up some more color, but it's also gonna help thicken up the sauce while it cooks. To a pot, I'm gonna add a good amount of neutral oil and in goes half of the meat. I'm gonna cook it in 2 batches because that way the meat is not gonna overcrowd in the pan and essentially boil, and it's gonna get a chance to pick up some nice color. I'm gonna flip the beef and let it pick up some color on the other side as well, after which I'm gonna take it out and I'm gonna put the other half in. While the meat's searing, let's have a look here. Okay, tomatoes, onion, garlic, carrots, sugar, salt, black pepper, savory, paprika, and celery extract. Okay, to me that means mirepoix plus tomato paste. Now I'm gonna use the food processor to chop these really fine, because when my mom used to make it for me, I don't ever remember seeing big chunks of vegetables. See all this beef fond and the stuck bits? The veggies are gonna pick all of that up. I'm gonna add a big pinch of salt. That's not only gonna season the vegetables, but it's gonna release moisture, which is gonna help deglaze that pan. I'm also gonna add a big pinch of savory and about a tablespoon of paprika. Then I'm gonna let the veggies cook until nice and soft. You can also see how they've cleaned up the pan and picked up all the bits from the bottom. At this point, I'm also gonna add the tomato paste. I'm gonna let that cook out for a minute or two just so we get rid of that rotini flavor. Then in goes half a liter of beef stock, along with a couple of bay leaves and the beef. To that half a liter of beef stock, I'm also gonna add half a liter of red wine. Don't use anything you wouldn't drink yourself. Lid goes on top, and I'm gonna cook this for about an hour and a half, or until the beef is nice and succulent. In the meantime, we can cook the rice. I'm gonna use 1 cup of rice that I'm gonna rinse thoroughly under some cold water, 2 or 3 times, or until the water runs clear. I'm also gonna boil some water in the kettle, and I'm gonna use 1 cup of that to my 1 cup of rice. I'm cooking that on the lowest heat, and as soon as I start seeing bubbles, I'm gonna cover it, and I'm gonna cook the rice for exactly 10 minutes. Then the heat goes off, and I'm gonna let the rice steam like that, covered for another 5 minutes. And the last thing you wanna do is take it out of the pan and spread it out so that the extra steam can escape. And that's it. Perfect rice every time. It's been close to an hour and a half and it looks like we're there. Let's give it a taste for seasoning. Nailed it! This brings me way back. It's deeply savory and comforting. The red wine gives it so much body. And the rice is, well, the perfect side for me. Or at least, that's what my brain's been trained to think. And let's not forget that melt in your mouth beef. That's good eating. Go give Vinen Kebap a try. Roll out!